is Miriam Cutelis. I am a Cognomovement practitioner. Welcome to Let's Cogno That, where each video explores a fun and creative way to use Cognomovement to improve your life. Now let's go have some fun. Welcome to Let's Cogno That. I am Miriam Cutelis, and I am a Cognomovement practitioner. If you already heard my introduction for this video, but want to go right to the session, just go to the time posted on the front of this video. All right. For anyone else, this is a video meant to help anyone in dire time of need. And I promise the intensity of your issue will decrease dramatically after doing the session. Of course, if this is an emergency, please call 911. So, but if you are suffering in some way right now and want to give me a few minutes, keep listening. My goal is to help, and I have very personal experience with this, and I believe this could really help you. Anyway, trigger warning for anyone. This video does have a topic of suicide, so just so we're in the clear. I have had two people personally that I know and care about take their own life. One of them I was incredibly close to, and this individual had made several attempts until they finally succeeded on January 22nd of 2007. And at least twice after such attempts, this individual would always come back and say to me how glad they were that it didn't work out. So the nature of this beast we call suicide is that it sneaks up on you. And there are times when pain is experienced that is so incredibly unbearable and so intense, and times when one's perspective of life is so negative that we don't really have the tools when we're in the moment to be able to go back to neutral. And I myself have experienced and struggled with depression, and not being able to come back to neutral has always been an issue for me. And I can attest to the intensity of the suffering one is experiencing at the time. And when something would trigger me, I would ride the wave, and I would be either too far in or too embarrassed to reach out to people. And I would feel absolutely stuck. But after having that cycle, I would have a cycle where, I would fall asleep, and the next morning I would be fine. One thing I did learn of having this, through going through this cycle of having these really intense, unbearable moments, and then you're back to neutral, is that the next day I was always like 180%. 180 degrees different. And it started me to question whether or not my pain, that what I was going through, was really real. And I started to notice the dissolvability of whatever problem I was having. I also started using time as a tool. I started using time as a way to help me. So knowing that the next morning I might feel differently, I might not, rip up pictures or something. I might not do something that, you can't take back. I might not say things that I couldn't take back. So I started noticing a couple of things. And then I ran into this amazing book and an author, because I really read all her books. It's Byron Katie. Byron Katie has many, many books out there, and I've read them all. And basically in her books, she has taught me to question every single thought that I have. She has really liberated me from so many things. I feel like I am a free thinker. And not a day goes by where I do not use the skills that I've learned in her books. So I know I already have a video on my YouTube channel where I use some of her questions in a Cognomovement session. But what I want to do today is I want to show you a tool that has been incredibly helpful for me. And I have uploaded, let me just pull it up. There's an app called The Work. And this is what it looks like when you open it, when you can download it. I think it's $1. So, and it was using the app, I will go to the work on a judgment to work on a judgment. And what happens is she will lead you through a series of questions. And for those people that are not familiar with her work, the work that she talks about is just sort of answering these 4 basic questions and a turnaround. And the turnaround is just flipping your initial question in different ways and seeing if the flips are either true or truer than your original statement. So therefore dissolving some of that sort of solidity of that initial statement. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to lead you through a Cogno session, but I'm going to be using the app. And again, I've used the app probably about 100 times in the past few years. And it just, once you're done answering all the 4 questions and coming up with a turnaround, you are pretty much brought back to neutral. And I would say that's a miracle for someone like myself who has struggled with being able to control those emotions for most of my young adult life. So I think that's fantastic. So I think if it helps me, and I'm sure it can help you. So if you're going through something and feel like there's no hope and just unable to sort of bring yourself to neutral, I think the combination of using the app with Cognomovement will absolutely knock that down a lot, at least enough for you to kind of get some breathing room in there and thinking room and not feel so hopeless, because it's really how I feel whenever I've used the app is like, I don't know where to turn. You don't know how to get rid of this feeling you have. And it's just, it feels pretty unbearable, to be honest. So if you're in that space right now, I promise you working with these 2 tools together is really going to help. So let's get it started. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to the App Store, or you're going to go to your your App Store on your phone, and you're going to download The Work on a Judgment. I'm sorry, The Work by Byron Katie. And I believe it's about 90 cents or $1. I'm not sure, but I know it costs something. And no, I don't work for Byron Katie. This is not an ad for her. I just really believe in her work. Okay, so we're going to get started. And we're going to go through some of the questions, and if you want, you could write the answers in there, or you can get a pen and a paper, or you can forget all that altogether. You can just let me guide you with your questions, and you are answering it out loud. If you're alone somewhere in your house or wherever you're sitting, feel free to just answer the questions out loud so that your nervous system can hear them. So go get your ball, and we're going to hold the ball at the low position, head straight, eyes down. And we're going to work on a judgment. So I'm going to click on working on a judgment, and I want you to voice what is your belief. So it could be anything at all. Usually our conflict has to do with some kind of belief. Could be anything. Could be he doesn't care about me, she hates me. It could be any kind of belief that you have on someone else or about yourself even. So I want you to just say the belief out loud while you're looking down. Make sure your head's straight forward and your eyes are downcast. And say your belief out loud. Take a deep breath. All right, you're going to say your belief out loud. You might want to write down your belief too, so that you can refer back to the exact wording. All right, so I'm going to write down my belief, and I'm going to ask you the next question. Is it true? So reread your belief that you wrote down. Is it true? And there is no right or wrong answer here. See how your body responds. See what your answer is. Is it true? All right. Can you absolutely know that that statement, that belief statement, reread it, is true? Can you absolutely know that it's true? Whether you answer yes or no makes no difference. Just allow the answer to rise. Can you absolutely know that the statement you wrote down is true? Keep your eyes down still. It's preferable that you have your eyes open while you're looking down. All right. Excellent. Now, next question. We're going to be moving the ball from left to right real slowly. And let's just answer my question. How do you react, or what happens when you believe that thought? And you feel free to blurt out whatever. You can list it. What happens when you believe that thought? Left, right. Follow the ball with your eyes. What happens when you believe that thought? If you forgot the thought, go back to your paper and look at it. How do you react? What happens? You feel free to make a list. When you believe that thought, what happens? When you believe the thought you wrote down, what happens? Notice my arms are going higher and higher. I'm following the ball with both eyes. Both my hands are on the ball. What happens when you believe that thought? What else happens when you believe that thought? Excellent. Take a deep breath. Bring the ball down. All right. So you've answered that question. All right. We're going to, again, bring the ball down. Put your head straight. Look down. Does the thought that you wrote down bring peace or stress into your life? Take a deep breath. Focus in. Does the thought that you wrote down bring peace or stress? All right. Excellent. Now let's find it in our body. Reread your phrase, read your belief out loud to yourself. Where do you feel it in your body? Where does it arise in your body? Right. Excellent. Take note of that. Moving on. All right. So the next portion, you're going to need to take your glasses off, and you're going to be moving the ball in an infinity in front of your face. And the goal here is to really be in the question that I'm asking and to really put yourself in that situation. And you're going to really stretch those eyes out. Okay. It's very important that you are really stretching your eyes. Now, if your eyes do not get much of a stretch, move your arms back a little bit so your eyes are stretching. If you feel like your eyes are not tracking the ball, or there's a little bit of discomfort, hang around there a little longer. Hang around there a little longer until it loosens up. All right. Also remember that place in your body where it rises. I'm going to be asking you whether it moves, and we're going to be focusing on whether that location changes. But for now, reread your belief statement. Got it? We're going to go into figure 8. And if I don't look at the ball at some point, it's because I'm looking at my notes. But you are keeping your eye on the ball the whole time, and you're moving the ball ever so slowly. Right? What images do you see? Past and future. What images do you see, past and future, related to this belief? What images do you see? Feel free to answer me out loud. Give voice to what's coming up. And we're not fighting anything that comes up. We're allowing it. We're making space. We're being curious about it. Excellent. Take a deep breath. What physical sensations arise? What physical sensations arise when you read your belief statement? Okay, so if you don't know, reread your belief statement, repeat it again, and then quickly catch what physical sensations arise as you think the thoughts. Witness those images that come up. We are curious. We are so curious. Excellent. It doesn't really matter during this portion which hand holds the ball. You might have long enough arms that you can just hold the ball with one arm the whole time. My arms are pretty short, so I need to switch. The only thing moving are your eyes and the ball. What images, sensations arise? When you think that belief, when you state that belief out loud? Just list them all. Let it all hang out. Take another deep breath. Excellent. All right. Keep going. And remember to do it real slow. What emotions arise? Now, this is going to be a list. Try to find the emotions, list them all. Let's make a nice big old list. What emotions arise when you believe that statement you wrote down on your paper? Notice I'm spending a lot of time over here, and it's because my eyes are refusing to track the ball. Take a deep breath. Excellent. What emotions? What else? What other emotions arise? And if you feel a tightness or pull, spend a little more time there. What emotions arise? Take another deep breath with your nose. Exhale with your mouth. Excellent. All right. Here's the next question. What addictions or obsessions begin to appear when you believe that thought? Reread your statement. What addictions or obsessions begin to appear? These might be like repetitive patterns that you're already familiar with. And again, there are no wrong answers. It's none, it's none. Make a list if there's many. Take a deep breath. Beautiful. All right, here's the next question. This is very important. How do you treat the person in this situation when you believe the thought? How do you treat the person or the people involved, or even not involved, when you believe that thought? Take another deep breath. Remember, you're doing an infinity. How else? How else do you treat the people involved when you believe the thought you wrote down on the paper? Here's a good one. How do you treat yourself? Take a deep breath. How do you treat yourself when you believe the thought you wrote down on your paper? How do you treat yourself? Beautiful. Excellent. Answer the question out loud. Next question is, who would you be without that thought? Who would you be? Read the thought out loud. Now, if you didn't have that thought, who would you be? Just right now, put yourself in that situation where you're looking at yourself. Without that thought, who would you be? And of course, you can be as silly as you want to be because we're using our imaginations. So we don't know, but we're going to take a stab at it. Who would you be without that thought? Excellent. Take a deep breath. All right, I'm going to go to the next question. Now, the next question, we are going to put the ball down. We're going to do a turnaround. So it's really important that you look at your belief statement now, and you're going to do a turnaround. So I'm going to give you an example. So for example, if your belief statement is, he hurt me, you can turn it to the self, like I hurt me. We're going to have a turnaround statement now. We're going to work with it. So you can either do it like that, or you can turn to the other, which is he didn't hurt me, or to the opposite, he helped me. Okay, so I want you to play with your belief statement a little bit. You can either turn it to the self, like turn that statement to yourself, or like instead of he hurt me, you're going to say I hurt me. Or you can turn it to the other. Instead of he hurt me, you're going to say I hurt me. And I'm sorry, I hurt him. Or to the opposite, which is he didn't hurt me, he helped me. Okay, so don't get too hung up on it. Just find another way of phrasing that. And we're going to test out if this statement, this new statement, could be true or more true than your original belief statement. Read it? So you can please take a pen and actually write the turnaround so that you can keep referring back to it. Okay? I'm going to give you a second. All right. So you're going to write your new turnaround, and we're going to work with that one. Ready? So what I want you to do is I just want you to repeat the turnaround and see what comes up. You're going to repeat the turnaround in whatever cadence you feel comfortable, and just observe your body react to the turnaround and see if this new statement is as true or truer than your original belief statement. See if this new statement is as true or truer. Take a deep breath. Beautiful. You're doing a great job. Now, since we're here, I want you to think of several examples of how this new statement that you wrote down might be true. And it doesn't have to be enormous examples. It could be a smidgen of truth in there. but we're gonna pull it. We're gonna find it and we're gonna pull it. Ready? So reread your new statement, your turnaround statement. All right, reread it out loud as you're doing your infinity. And give me some examples. Now, this might take a little deep breathing. Come up with one example of how that statement might be true, that new statement. All right. Can you come up with another example? Again, they don't have to be monumental examples. They could be small examples. They could have happened a couple of weeks ago. Nevertheless, give me a second example of how this new statement might be true. Take a deep breath with your nose. And last, give me a third example of how this new statement that you wrote down might be true or truer. All right, let's stop for a sec. Now I want you to make a second turnaround. So, like I said, the example, the initial statement might have been, he hurt me. Then to turn the possible turnarounds was to the self, which means I hurt me. The second turnaround is to the other. So I hurt him. Or the third turnaround might be to the opposite, which is he didn't hurt me or he helped me. All right. So I want you to come up with another turnaround. And I want you to write it in front of you so that you can refer back to it easily during the session. All right, let's try this one on. Ready? So you're going to be doing stretching your eyes. I want you to voice that new statement out loud and try it on. See how your body reacts. Put it on. Say it out loud several times. Try it on. Now, can you come up with one example of how this new belief statement might be true? One example of how this new statement might be true. Beautiful. Again, it doesn't have to be monumental. It could be tiny. Come up with a second example of how this new statement could be true or truer. Don't forget to stretch those eyes. If you want more of a stretch, move your ball closer to your ear, to the back. If you feel certain discomfort, stay there a little longer. Take a deep, audible breath. Excellent. Right. Can you come up with one more example of how this last belief statement might be true or truer? And we're not making up anything. We're looking at our world and we're pulling out the examples from our real life examples from our life. All right. Bring the ball down. Take a deep breath. All right. So I hope this was helpful. You are going to feel a lot less intense about this issue after the session. And it is, after maybe a couple hours. Okay, so that was a Cogno session combined with a Byron Katie sets of questions on the app, on her app. So I hope that was helpful. I myself use the app probably several times a month, and I use Cognomovement every single day. So I just love the fact that these two modalities can really help complement each other and help to bring a situation of dire need and suffering down to more closer to neutral. So I hope this was helpful. A couple of things to end the video. So if you have an issue that you'd like me to help you with, I do one-on-one sessions in Northern Virginia and worldwide on Zoom. Yes, I have a lot of online lessons to help you imagine, what a Cogno session might be like, seeing as it's fairly new modality. But can you imagine what a practitioner can do for you with a session that is individually tailored to your needs? So I'm available here if you need me. Please don't forget to like and follow my channel. And also do share this video with people you think might need help, especially in the area of sort of control of like these roller coasters of emotions they're dealing with. So please do share it with people. Last but not least, in September, we have our Cogno Conscious event, and it happens every year, and it's again in California this year. If you're interested in joining, I think it's 5 days long this year, you can get a coupon code, which is my name right here, Miriam, with the capital M, and you get 10% off the Cogno Conscious event of 2024. Anyway, thank you so much. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Bye.